welcome back to my studio. My name is Elke, and today I'm going to make a bouquet. A bouquet with summer flowers, early summer flowers from my garden, and just a flat tray container. So I'm going to work with Oasis this time. I filled the container with Oasis, and now we'll cover most of it with moss. I went to my moss pile, which I have a lot of moss dried up, you know, in the fall when it's all mossy and foggy outside. That's when I collect a little bit, and then I put it flat out there to dry, and then I can just use it all the time and just spray it and make it alive again, fresh. So usually when I use moss to cover up, I use the back of my knife. I use the back of my knife to push in the edges of the moss. You know, it kind of shoves it in then and gives a little support to the whole thing, other than if you use the front of the knife, the sharp end, you just kind of cut the end off and then it's just sitting right on top of it, which is not what we really want. So the smell of moss, it's just so lovely. So, okay, cleaning up so I see what I'm doing. Okay, and now I will start creating with flowers from the garden. We have beautiful flowers, roses, salvias, sage flower. Even the combination here I think is just lovely. When I use flowers in one of those natural looking parallel bouquets, I often start with little groupings of 2 or 3, because I just think in nature it's often like that. Plants, they grow in bundles or in bushes. They come out of the container and they come out of the base of the flower and the base of the plant, and that's what I kind of try to recreate. You know, just having in groups. Very seldom they are just like soldiers standing single. So what I do also with the plant is I usually look at the plant and look for the face, and you see it. This one here, this is a sedum angelina flower. You know, it has a tendency to go to one side. So if I turn it around from my side now, I would look at the back side of the plant, because it kind of goes this way. So if I turn it around, it goes this way. So I know it has to go to the right side of my bouquet. You know, and to cover up, you can use short leaves that also almost symbolize the plant base of this. But it doesn't have to be exactly the flower or the leaves of the sage or whatever it is. But I mean, we're just recreating nature here now. So, for this one, I probably mostly go one-sided. I have to see if I turn it around. Yeah, see, I'm turning it around for you guys now so you can see what I'm doing here. But I will put this bouquet, I decide for now that it's not going to stand in the middle of a table where it has to be seen from both sides. This one I will put on a sideboard or something, and it has the back is not necessarily seen by people, but I will finish it off. But the main face of the bouquet is going to be this side. So I'm just going to turn it around for myself to keep working on it. And again, what the idea here is, you know, when I make a group of sage salvia on one side, I kind of try to find a balance, so it's not just like here's the salvias, here's the astrantias, here's the sedum. So it's like it's balancing. You have some over here, you have them over here, but you don't spread them out all over the bouquet. Huh? And it's interesting when I put something in my hand, I immediately know which direction it has to go. But I think when you start looking at plants and you see which way they grow, even a rose, you know, it depends. Hold it very light in your hand, and it almost falls into a direction because it's, you know, it's leaning, and that direction is usually the front. So, you know, you will find the face of a flower for sure. That rose is almost too big now in that little delicate bouquet. Let's see what we can do with these beautiful flowers here. These are from the hosta flowers. And they don't have to now act all as hosta flowers here. They are now just like a nice little bell in a bouquet, you know. See, I do have hosta leaves, but for this bouquet, they're just too big. But what I have here is sedum, and then sedum is beautiful because sedum is, you know, it's like a succulent leaf. And if you put that in, it covers your base and gives beautiful interest in leaves and everything. So. You see, astrantia is, they come in all kinds of beautiful different colors, mainly the pinks, whites, with a little bit of a green in there, and that purpley. This one I think was the ruby cloud, which has more than one color, so it's just lovely. So, you know, I often go through and see, do I need something, do I not need something, and I think we are pretty much done, because there's always a tendency to do too much. So just to explain why I would put this leaf in here, I just saw right now here these stems from the sedum and from the astrantia, they just kind of went into nowhere. You know, they're just, you know, when you look at the plant, really in your garden, you see the plant, it's almost like you have a root ball and everything comes out of the center. And that's kind of what I try to create. So if you have a bouquet that is like in a natural sense, you have to picture like after this cut here, there is a stem, there's roots coming. So it has to look natural. And if you create a center, and one plant goes completely beside it, and it looks like it doesn't belong, it just looks wrong. So just make them here. What I try to do is I take a leaf, put it right down here, and create this beautiful little center of the plant, because now we have almost like a bush of leaves, part of the whole structure, and you know, it helps to make all of these other flowers look like they come out of the center. So here I have a branch which I think needs to be in here. So I'm going to go right through it. A little bit at the front. Even a little pine cone. No pine cone. No pine cone today. Branches it is. So, and I need a little tiny bit of moss because I just saw that there is a little oasis showing. And then of course at the end, you always have to go around and see if everything is nicely tucked in, if your container is clean. That's one of the most important thing too, because you don't have a, you don't have a ugly, dirty container. It's like you cook and then your plate is dirty. You can't do that. So, looks like this. This is just a cute little natural decoration piece for your sideboard, and again, it doesn't need a lot of flowers. Fill your container with oasis, with some moss, and then you already have a base, and then you just have a few little flowers from your garden. Smaller container, even a few or less flowers, but just a few. I mean, this is just a handful that you can find in your garden. Or like I said, if you don't have a garden, then go to your flower shop and just get a few little flowers that you can mix up. Sometimes they are already a bundle of mixed flowers, but you don't have to put them just in a vase. You can make a little bouquet with a little bit of moss. You can also get moss at the craft store. Make it wet, because then it comes back to life. Okay, I hope I inspired you. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to my channel. Click the subscription button there and the bell, because then you will be notified when I upload something. Thank you so much for watching, and you will see me next time.